I don't think that Jimmy Kimmel has learned anything at all. And that's because he's a zealot. And when you're a zealot, you can't grasp the logic of a situation. It wasn't Trump that wanted to take him off the air or Carr. It was the folks in the cities across the country who called up the affiliated stations and said, you got to do something when a nationwide television person accuses MAGA of being involved in a heinous. You've got to do something. This is hundreds and thousands of calls from the folks. They said it's enough. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't understand that. And he's enabled by the corrupt media that don't want to tell the truth about censorship and denial of freedom of expression in this country. They don't want you to know what's really happening. And that's a total blackout of non-liberal point of view on 5 of the biggest television corporations there are. Total blackout, 100%.
But here's the thing. For those who think I go too hard on Donald Trump, to the point where there are still a lot of people who think I should be pulled off the air for making fun of Donald Trump. So I want to explain. I talk about Trump more than anything because he's a bully. I don't like bullies. I played the clarinet in high school, okay? So I just don't like him. Donald Trump is an old-fashioned 80s movie-style bully, taking your lunch money. And if you give it to him once, he'll take it again. 2 things he loves, lunch and money, okay? He will take that peanut butter and jelly sandwich your mom cut in half like a triangle for you. He will gobble it up in front of your face, and then he'll eat your little zip.
Yes, just when I thought Jimmy will be coming back as a different person, he spent 12 minutes whining about Trump, lying that there are a lot of people who think he should be pulled off air. I don't believe this. If you are doing something great, people will not pray that they should pull you off air. It means there is something you are not realizing or you're doing and you seem not to even see.
I'm worried that we're at risk of losing our freedom of speech and that the weight of the government is being used to restrict expression from journalism to comedy. Look, no politician likes the press on bad days. Facing hard questions and being forced to think them through and answer them makes our ideas stronger and our politics better. And if the coverage is unfair and inaccurate, we can stand up and do that and point it out and express our disagreements without trying to put people who are doing their jobs under the Constitution out of business. That's wrong.
I believe you've seen what Roseanne said. When you take a look at this video, Bill Clinton fires up a pointed message to President Trump as Jimmy shows return to look, no politicians like the press. On bad days, Clinton said, scratching his head with a real grin. Sometimes I really wonder why these people do this every single time. Like, I want to know what Trump did for Jimmy to be fired on the first place.
When somebody like Jimmy Kimmel says that it was MAGA, what he's really saying is that it's okay to lie about conservatives, that their lives don't matter, that his agenda, his political agenda and cultural agenda is more important than the life of my friend who was just taken from us and robbed from us. And you see this with Maggioni, you see it with this ICE facility. It's not okay. And when people like Jimmy Kimmel skirt the truth, when they refuse to take accountability for their actions, then that sends a signal that there's a whole institutional machinery apparatus that's prepared to defend these evildoers. And that's not okay. What we need is, I'm sorry, I lied, I was wrong, and I won't do it again. And my apologies to the Kirk family and to Erica Kirk.
So, Andrew, I'm just going to...
And that would have been contrition.
Yeah.
They put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air last night. Here's what he had to say.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Wrong. Pathetic. Of course you did. You used the phrase MAGA gang. You absolutely intended to make light of it. And you also intended to mislead the American people all at the same time. So don't lie again. Just apologize, Jimmy Kimmel, which you haven't done and you did not do last night. Every liberal in America is clapping like a seal for this hack who's somehow made it about him. No apologies, just more lying. Good for Nexstar and Sinclair for fighting back on this, in my opinion. I love all these liberals all over the country who are talking about free speech, the biggest assault on free speech. You know, just a couple of years ago, people like Elizabeth Warren were calling Donald Trump a danger who, quote, must be kept off the air. I am much happier with Donald Trump off the air, off of Facebook, says Elizabeth Warren just a couple of years ago. Oh, we're so worried about free speech back in those days, but take your favorite hack political commentator, comedian off the air, and all of a sudden we're in a constitutional crisis. Absolutely ridiculous from Jimmy Kimmel last night. We'll see what happens to him at the end of the year.
Yes, this was sufficient enough to say I'm sorry. I was expecting Jimmy to be back on air to say this. I watched the whole thing. I didn't see that. I saw him struggling to cry, on the TV, talking about how Erica had to forgive the shooter, all things like that. When I saw that video, to me, it was still not enough. An apology could be way better.
But I don't know if you saw this.
All the same people that are in these polite social circles with you they're feeling vindicated and saying the most evilly, Kirk, rest in piss. I saw this lady who was a NASDAQ lady. She worked at NASDAQ and she was at a conference and she's like, we're pausing the conference to say.
So Sinclair, notwithstanding the fact that Disney said, we're bringing him back. Disney held the line for 5 episodes and then said, oh, wait, we got a nasty letter from Jimmy Kimmel supporting celebrities. Okay, we're out. He's back on. So Sinclair said, no, we're not airing him. And then this morning, just as we came to air, Nexstar 2 said, us either. We're not airing him either. So now you've got some 1/3 of the ABC affiliates out there airing something else. I think it's going to be alternate news programming is the option right now. And that's interesting because now we're in the same position we were in yesterday and the day before, Mark. Those are the two station groups, station owners who said, we're not airing Kimmel. So where are we today, in your view?
Make no mistake, they're still very dependent on those affiliate relationships. And these two big station owners have the right, and I'm sure they think the responsibility, to not bring Kimmel back. I suspect Disney will try to change their minds, or perhaps this will be the spur to cancel a show that I don't know if it makes money or not, but it's not as popular as it once was. This is how the market should work, right? Disney can do what it wants, and these station owners can do what they want. And in the end, and almost certainly, the consumers will decide. But as you pointed out,
Trump sent this out. I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who is not funny, and who put the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He is yet another arm of the DNC. And to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. I think we are going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do it. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. That is Trump. A lot of people are taking this as offense, like Trump is threatening him. That is what I saw on social media. Thank you guys for always being the sharing on my videos. God bless you abundantly.
With all due respect to former President Obama,
is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's some drama, or at the very least, some tea in and ready for Joy, Sunny, Anna, and Whoopi to give their perspectives on what happened to Jimmy. And guess what? They said nothing.
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
Well, there are repercussions to spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not give a speech about...
And his hair looked better than Conrad's from the summer I turned...